The Rowdy Rough boys are beating up this poor dude who was just trying to buy a can, and end up breaking open the machine to take the cans for themselves. Because beating people up for fun is really fun. Or at least it is when Brick says it. It's dumb when Boomer does. After some typical teasing from his bros, they order Boomer to go steal them some candy. A part of you feels sorry for Boomer being treated like this all the time. It clearly gets to him. But then he goes and faceplants this kid into a tree to steal his candy. Jawbreaker, you called? Such a badass line from Blossom. The girls probably did break his jaw. They certainly beat him up and took him back home where the professor somehow created a containment ray. However, they need to find a way to throw off Brick and Butch's suspicions. So they dress Bubbles up like Boomer and get her to pretend to be him. This of course involves her having to hang out with the boys. So the very Timmy Turner sounding Bubbles makes her way over to Fuzzy's house, where the boys have taken over and tied Fuzzy up. She manages to blag her way through at first, trying to act how she thinks a mean boy would act. But it gets harder and harder to keep up the ruse as time goes on. She is forced to do many things she finds uncomfortable, and is constantly pushed into it by her sisters, who are shouting at her down the microphone. Indeed, the middle part of this episode is Bubbles abuse pretty much. She gets punched in the face, having to hold back the tears. She's forced to try and super spit like the boys do, which she can with surprising results. And has to practice some illegal graffiti, which almost causes the boys to catch her out. Brick even ridicules her for spelling dumb wrong, when he was in fact the one who was spelling things wrong. The final straw though seems to be eating a cockroach. Bubbles doesn't believe she is able to do it, but before we find out what happens, Brick damages the transmitter, so the girls and the professor lose contact. This leads into the ending, where they see Bubbles, Brick and Butch coming to the front door. This is a bit confusing though, because Blossom and Buttercup for some reason think that Boomer has escaped, and they are outnumbered 3-on-2. Like girls, come on, that's obviously still Bubbles. Just look around and see Boomer still trapped in the ray for God's sake. So yes, this was a bit contrived, but ultimately, Brick and Butch find the real Boomer, who is trapped in his underwear, and while they are questioning him about this, Bubbles sneaks up and traps all 3 of them in the ray. Turns out she really did eat the cockroach. It tasted like chicken. So everyone congratulates her for finally capturing the boys. However, she gets carried away and shows off her new spitting ability indoors, which ricochets everywhere, breaking the containment ray, which of course frees them. The boys waste no time getting out of there. Boomer's clothes be damned. The girls don't seem to care too much though. Blossom just casually says, we'll get 'em next time. This was an average episode, I'd say. Some parts weren't done the best, but it's just good to get an insight into the day-to-day life of the Rowdy Roughs, how they go about their life as 3 superpowered boys. And Bubbles, although she took some punishment, showed that she's a real trooper.